You've used an ID selector to go and find an image on a page, and then when someone clicks on a button it goes and hides that image. Now ID selectors are useful if you want to go and find a single element on a page. But what if instead of a single image, what if we had an entire set of images? Well, the first thing is we can't set multiple images with the same ID. The ID should be unique across the entire page. So instead of setting all of these images to an ID of toys image, we'll set the class of each of the images to toys image. You can have as many things as you like sharing the same class. Okay, so if we save that page and then refresh, we've now got lots and lots of images. But if we click the button, nothing happens. And the reason for that is because the code is currently looking for an element on the page with an ID of toys image. And we no longer have anything with an ID of toys image. All of our images have got a class with toys image. So instead of using an ID selector, we need to use what's called a class selector. An ID selector looks for an element on the page with a given ID. A class selector will find an entire set of images on the page that have a particular class name. And the way that we change the ID selector to a class selector is by replacing the hash symbol with a dot symbol. Now this is standard CSS selector syntax. It's the same kind of way that you would select a lot of things inside a style sheet. But jQuery reuses that CSS selector to find the set of images, in this case, on the page. Now you might think if you've got a set of images you would have to loop through all of them in order to hide them one at a time. But jQuery is a very concise library. So what you can do with jQuery is this enhanced object that comes back represents the entire set of images in this class. So all of the images with a class of toys image are now being represented by $.toys image. And that set of images also has a hide method. And what that hide method should do is hide all of the images in that entire set. So now that we've replaced the selector, let's go and refresh the page. And when we click, all of the images now on the page disappear.